Now, Sir Terry Matthews is the richest living Welshman. After leaving his homeland for Canada 40 years ago, he built a billion-dollar telecoms business. Tonight he's being honoured at a gala dinner for his enormous investment that secured golf's finest team competition for Wales. 1 year from now, the Ryder Cup will be hosted by the Celtic Manor resort, which Sir Terry owns. Earlier today, I travelled to Celtic Manor to speak to Sir Terry and began by asking him how the Ryder Cup might benefit the wider Welsh economy.
The property's good, the location is good, but this puts it on the map. There is no question about it. Wherever I go in the world, and I travel probably more than most, they know about the Celtic Manor.
In truth, Sir Terry, this is much more than just a golf match, isn't it? It's about building an infrastructure, a legacy for this part of Wales.
There's no doubt. I mean, as soon as the Ryder Cup was announced for the property did very well. Then there's the area, you know, the city of Newport, city of Cardiff, and Wales generally. I mean, this is the biggest event Wales has ever held, and the upshot is everybody's excited about it. They're putting a little more energy in, whether it's an individual with homes or whether it's the city putting better signs, cleaning up the highways, the roundabouts, the station. I mean, it goes on and on and on, that it's just peaked in terms of interest. Let's put on our best show, and everybody's putting their back into it. It's good.
Over the years, Wales has produced some terrific golfers. Di Rees, Woosie, of course, Philip Price. And yet it's not really known, is it, for golf courses in the same way that Scotland and Ireland are. Why is that?
This is highlighting it. Everybody now knows. And as we get closer and closer to the Ryder Cup, I mean, we both know 1 billion eyeballs on television watching the Ryder Cup in Wales with weather like this. Give me a break. I mean, this will be spectacular.
Well, of course, Sir Terry, you've achieved a lot in your time, but if you can produce 3 days of weather like this for the Ryder Cup, you should launch your own magic show.
No, you'd be surprised what I can do.
Tell me, by the time the first ball is hit, on day one of the 2010 Ryder Cup, how much money will you have put into this project?
Well, what does all of this mean? Do you mean specific for the Ryder Cup or the entire property?
The whole lot, from the day that you bought that empty property down there.
Well, that would be a very big number. I mean, it would be hundreds of millions of pounds.
Several hundreds of millions.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Wales is famous for producing lots of things, notably great singers, great authors, great sportsmen, but not entrepreneurs. Why is that?
Yeah, it's very interesting you should say that. Well, I think when you say that it hasn't produced many entrepreneurs, you're talking about recent days.
Yes.
If I took you back 100 years ago, you wouldn't say that. And the education here, the university, is excellent. You know, whether it's Aberystwyth, whether it's Cardiff, Swansea, Newport, so on, they're excellent educational institutions. Many people in recent years have taken off. I mean, I'm one example. But now they're staying. And there is a resurgence in the technology sector, high technology. And I'm actually quite active in that area, starting up 2 or 3 companies a year in the high technology area. In my career, I've started up over 80 companies and only ever lost 4. So this is an area of expertise that I have. And of course, I come here frequently, I interview new graduates, and I start up new businesses, and they are successful.
Well, it sounds very positive, but of course, looking back 30, 40 years, Wales has defied, really, attempts by governments of both parties to regenerate this area. It seems to have fallen behind economically. Why?
Why do you pick Wales out? Why not the entire United Kingdom? We've lost automobiles, we've lost manufacturers in the telecom area like Marconi and Plessey. I mean, it isn't just Wales, it's the entire United Kingdom. Almost gone are the days when you'd get a large R&D group in the United Kingdom or the United States, because salaries in India are less than 1/10. Salaries in China are much less than 1/10 of what they are within the UK and the United States. So both economies, both areas are having serious problems. And do you know what the way to fix this? Be more innovative, have innovation, have people who are new graduates, believe in the new graduates, and help them create businesses. And that's what I do. The technology side, the brain power side, the software side, it's flourishing at a ferocious rate. So I'm not so down.
Sir Terry, we've got a general election 9 months away. As a businessman, what are your priorities for an incoming government?
The economy grows most with small companies growing. It's fairly easy to understand that if you've got a product or a technology or a service, growing from 10 to 20 or 100 to 200 is one hell of a lot easier than growing 10,000 to 20,000. Give those SMEs a break. It's so much easier to have hundreds of SMEs, some of them will grow to £1 billion, rather than take companies that are £1 billion and watch them decline. Give the young graduates a chance. I mean, I find them to be absolutely dynamite. They work very, very hard. Think about this. A new graduate. Are they typically married? No. Do they typically have children? No again. Can they work around the clock? Yes, they can. You just have to excite them and give them ownership and give them the right conditions. And do you know what? They grow up faster than you would ever believe.
And I guess you have to also give them investment. Hasn't that been the problem, Sir Terry, that you've talked a lot about enthusing young people, investing in young people? Just up the road here we have Cardiff University, terrific university, one of Britain's top institutions.
Right.
Yet these guys come out and they leave. They don't stay here. That's the problem, isn't it?
Now you're getting into a subject in which I am very passionate. The government, in my view, you asked about the government, what can the government do? Put more bias towards encouraging people to start up firms, whether that comes in the form of tax breaks, whether it comes in the form of R&D grants. I could care less who pays for the R&D, but someone has to. And at the end of the day, when somebody's paid for an R&D job, they pay taxes anyway. So it's kind of a way of circulating the tax money back into the innovation agenda. I like the innovation agenda. I like the dedication towards efforts into the SME companies. Drive them harder, and in particular those new grads.
And finally, Sir Terry, as a business fan and an even bigger golf fan, can I just say this? Well done, good luck, bring the cup home in 2010.
That's what we'll do. Thank you.
Sir Terry Matthews. Now let's turn from golf to horse racing.